Welcome back to Ireland Day. I'm now a retired guard, a cancer survivor, and a mother to 3 incredible children, including an Oscar nominee. You know, who could we be talking about? It is Dearbhla Mescal.
To hell with the 3 children. It's
all
all about her
Dearbhla
today, this morning. Good
My
morning.
time.
Your time.
It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so
and
much.
congratulations
Thank you.
on your new book,
Yeah.
Finding Joy. Amazing. Well, with
Yes.
everything that's going on in the world for you at the minute, I can imagine you get swept away. But for you to find your own time to put your own pen to paper, I think must have been really important.
It was. It became, well, actually, it wasn't in my head, it wasn't pen to paper. It was pen to the social media world of, you know, vomit up your stuff and put it out there and see where it lands.
Yeah.
It was the new pen to paper. And I started it as a challenge to myself. You were talking about changing your mindset and just trying to, and that's what I needed to do. I needed to be more present. I was the very normal, average mum doing 6 million things all at once at every pitch, making the plan to go to the next pitch, buttering sandwiches that I never eat, doing soups, all of those things. And I met a parent and the 2 of us had this lovely chat and she said, when is it our time? And I eventually sort of said, I'm going to have to get more present. I'm going to have to find my joy in my everyday. And that's how it started. 28 days, a challenge just to
The little things.
to the very little things, but also it was just to make me switch my brain. Just switch my brain from, I mean, you're not going to change being exhausted. That's just the way life is in that time of parenting. But I think what I did was change the way I saw the exhaustion, or tripping into the house. I was talking to a principal yesterday, and my memory was the front door and all the shoes, all the boots, all the, you had the soft boots for the soft pitches and the hard boots for the hard pitch, all of it. And the screw things, those screw things?
Oh, and the
Yeah,
studs.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
In
to
every
put them-
drawer and in every crevice.
And you could never find them when you need
Never
them now.
find them.
And then next thing every 24 of them.
Absolutely.
So things were crowded, and that woman had
Crowded.
said, when is it our time? And you were like, no, we're mothering
no,
now, we're
no.
doing 50 million things at once, and at the same time, you were also on the front line. You
Yes,
were,
I was.
You
I was
were a guard.
Yeah, yeah.
How was that job?
That job, it's a funny thing. When you're doing a job like that, and I'm guessing very similar to yourselves, when you're doing your job, you're not actually thinking about your job. It is kind of part of you. It's like I put on my uniform,
Yeah.
I went to work, what I do know is I was very present in my job,
Okay.
where I wasn't present in my life.
In your life?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to do you're out there, folks, please? Did you ever have to knock on a pub at 1 o'clock on what's going on inside here?
I remember being down in West Clare with my husband Paul, and I was a new guard, so really, really new. And I remember a guard coming in and going, "Are you right there, ladies and gentlemen, please?" And I was like, "Oh my God, get out!" So I do remember. I remember that fear, the fear.
How did you mix that into being a parent, though, as well? Like, because as a guard, I'm sure, was there a discipline side to you that
Yeah.
mixed into being a parent? And
I was a strict parent. I mean, I know I was a strict parent. I know Paul, he won't mind me saying this because I think he said it in an interview, but he rang me the first time he had a pint, and he was 18.
Oh.
But
Do you believe him?
seriously,
Okay.
that was who he was, yeah.
Right.
And he rang me to say it. And he
To
told-
get
Yes.
confirmation before
To
he
get the
drank
permission
it,
or what?
or
And it was kind of like, it's happening now, Mammy. I'm like, this is what I'm doing.
That's
I'm
kind of
taking a drink.
amazing. That he felt like he could.
But no, we're having that conversation now now that we're out of that. And he goes, I was so worried that you'd be upset that I was having a drink, because his whole life was busy doing sport.
Yeah.
That was how he saw his life. And he was very driven. He was a driven child. So this was, I suppose, a form of respect. I don't know. But I was strict. I think I was nervous, Mother, that because I was a guard, I knew the dangers that were out there.
Yeah.
I probably overscheduled them a little bit to keep them busy so that they weren't on the streets.
Yeah.
That was something I probably did mentally think about. But
And during all of this, you've got 3 kids, your guard, you're the overscheduling for everybody else. And you and your husband, Paul,
yes,
you're in the thick of this together.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that this is what's quite fascinating about, people who have children. You fall in love, but then next thing you become partners, and it's about the administration.
I was 25 when I got married, and I'm 57 now. The person who is 25 and the person who's 57 has gone through a lot of changes, as has Paul.
Yeah.
And we're not backwards about saying that there was periods in our marriage that we were in cars, driving to places, and our only conversation was, "What's for dinner? Have you got the screw thing for the
Studs.
The studs.
There you go.
You've got those boots. You're going to have to go to that pitch." And so there was very little. We also didn't have money to date, like this idea of giving a night to date. We just didn't have that. And I think what I'm really lucky about now, with the kids gone and everything, that I partnered well. I chose, like, obviously I partnered well because we're still together and we're finding ourselves back together again.
Yeah.
So it's like, not that we're back to 25, but we're these new humans kind of getting to know each other. And it's quite a nice
Beautiful
thing.
And
It's
you
quite a
go
nice
through
thing.
phases together, and
Absolutely.
It's amazing
And I think to be forgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't probably always very kind. I probably did give out about the dishwasher not being done. I can tell you this morning, I did shout up to the stairs to say, "Can you please sweep the kitchen floor?" So like,
But it's
like,
vice versa, these
yes,
things.
exactly. And I think we expect perfection because that's what we see in our devices.
You've said so many things, and your perspective it's incredible. Like you've said, you adore your 50s, but also that your cancer, you've spoken
Yes.
about your cancer, that it has changed your life for the better in a
Yes.
positive way.
Yeah.
Like you have turned it into a joy,
Yes.
into a positive. How did you do that?
I think because I had been practicing joy for the years going up to it, that when that curveball hit and there was no dodging it, it just, you were plunked into oncology and you were into terminology and white coats and injections and tablets and toxins and all of the wild world that is cancer. I think what I found that it stopped me. It made me stop. It made me reassess. It gifted me time. That I was coming to the 8 months into retirement. It gifted me time. Wow. People were very kind.
Yeah.
I was very lucky. I was just,
and you're in remission.
I'm in remission.
You're in
I'm
remission.
Really lucky.
This is
really
fantastic.
Lucky. Yeah.
And those are the small things of joy. Well, I want to talk to you about this, but the people that you thank, because you talk about your family, but there's a large medical group that you like to thank.
Because I'm really here because of that. I'm here because research is done on my cancer and,
But the bonds that you must form when you're at your lowest ebb as well. And then even going that, because I love the story about you went to the Oscars against the odds.
Yes,
Your son has been nominated.
Yes, I went to that big party.
The mum has to go to the ball.
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
did. And he did. And my Patrick Hayden is my doctor, and if you can imagine him having a magic wand, because you're going in and you're saying to him, "Listen, I've been invited to be a +1 to this thing," and he just said, "You'll go to the ball."
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I went, and it was.
Come here, is it a bit of crack?
It is crazy. It is the most. If you watch E, like when I was growing up, E was on. Everybody who's famous is there. Everybody that's famous. So you're kind of. And I sat down, and you get into your seats, and Jamie Lee Curtis is right here in front of me, and there was a man beside me, and I turned to Paul like this, and I said, "Paul, Antonio Banderas.
Right.
You know, and it's just this crazy, like, you know, and they're all, what's really interesting about it is they're all normal. They're all really, really nice.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you're Paul Mescal's mum. If they weren't nice to you, they'd be murdered on the internet.
I mean, he was very young in the industry then. Like,
I know.
You know, like he was very young. It was just so.
How do you deal with that part of it as a mum? That your son is there in this world global stage, but he is young. And Nell as well.
Nell
singing.
Nell is starting.
And an even more difficult industry.
It's such a hard industry. I think what we learned as a family, that who we are doesn't change.
Okay.
That we stay connected. That the children, like what I've loved and seen in Paul and Nell, their tribe of people. Like Paul has his friends from normal people that are still his friends, that are around him, that as his life changes, as their life changes, they still make that effort to connect. And I think that's really really important. I really do think that's important. I think it keeps you at a level. You can be as famous as you want to be.
That's very interesting. George Clooney always says that you can be as famous as you want to be, and there's always ways to get around things.
Yeah.
What I think is quite interesting, Dearbhla, is that now you have decided your story is incredible, but also you're so giving of your time. You're so funny and you're so open and you're so positive, which is, we need a bit of that in the world. But you're now also seeing a different side of the world that probably your kids have been more exposed to, which would be an online world.
Yeah.
And comments and people judging.
What
do you make of that? Because you parented at a time.
I parented at a time because Paul's 30 and Nell is going to be turning 23. Donica is 27 this year. Paul would have been less social media, Donica a little bit more so, and then Nell is she's in that generation. I went on social media and very initially to kind of thinking I could mind them, that there was some way that I could mind them and whatever. And of course, then get sucked into comments. You only ever see the bad comment. It's just the way our brains work. It's like if somebody says something to you, you're only going to hear the comment that's negative. And I think I'm learning very quickly not to take it on, that I can't make that person.
But has it surprised you, the level of viciousness?
Oh, I think the level of viciousness that people are able to do and think that they can just leave to somebody they've never met.
Mad, isn't it?
Is mad. It's like when you tell your children when they write a WhatsApp or, they're sending a message, would you say that to the person's face? Yeah. And remember that where there's no full stop, that as long as the intent is kind, that your intention was good and kind, but like people are reading it the way they're going to, where they're going to see that.
Well, listen, this book is exactly what they need. And I believe you're doing poetry and nature walks as well at the minute.
What did you do yesterday?
I did a walk and a talk. I was like Pride and Prejudice. I was Elizabeth Bennet.
With the umbrella?
No, somebody was walking beside me telling me where to walk.
Holding the umbrella?
But holding my bag.
Oh, you're gone so famous.
So famous.
So you were reading poetry to people in nature?
Yes, I was in Paris Court. It was, now look at yesterday, it was gorgeous, but I did feel a little bit like Elizabeth Bennet.
Well, why bloody not? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Finding Joy, it is your new book, and I look forward to the second one, maybe.
Oh, stop it.
The pressure.
Thank you so much.
It's really beautiful. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure having you.